United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to Monday, October 6th. If you have any questions, comments, concerns as the proceedings go through here tonight, come up to the microphone, give us your name and address, and state your business with this council. Would you call the roll, please?
Cedar.
Here.
Foley.
Here.
Kinsfater.
Here.
Krebs. Cuffa.
Here.
Laporte.
Here.
McCartney.
Here. I'll make a motion to excuse Jane Krebs from the meeting.
I'll support that.
Motion made and supported to excuse Member Krebs. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are going to have one addition to the agenda tonight under number 9, new business. Letter D, accept community gift. We have a little presentation tonight. Mr. Nichols is here somewhere. There he is. All right. We have a public hearing under number 4 of the application for industrial facilities exemption certificate, Wright Plastics Products, LLC, 2021 Christian B. Haas Drive. I believe we have a couple of representatives here tonight. Who wants to spearhead this?
Mr. Mayor, City Council members, staff, my name is Bruce Seymour, and I am with the Economic Development Alliance in St. Clair County. We appreciate your consideration of the IFT abatement that's before you for 2 years at a 50% abatement for those 2 years. As you know, in the state of Michigan, we have a tax on machinery and equipment that's very burdensome on manufacturing, called personal property tax. In August, the citizens of the state of Michigan voted to rescind or repeal that tax beginning January 1st, 2016. What that tax does is it makes it difficult for companies to expand, to add new employees, and just to do their business, because each year they have to pay a tax on that equipment year after year. So what we're asking for today is a 2-year abatement to cover the period until the end of the personal property tax of 50% on new personal property. The company is not changing any of the taxes that they're already paying. It's just on new personal and real property improvements that they've done on the facility. I have with me tonight Tom Marquette, who's the operations manager with Wright Plastic Products, and he'll talk a little bit more about the investments that the company's making.
Hi, thank you very much. I appreciate you giving me a chance to come up here and tell you a little bit about Wright Plastics. As manufacturers go in around this area, we're not very big. We've got 35 employees, and we make automotive parts. One of the things we're doing to try to become more competitive and offer our customers something different is we're getting into a whole new kind of process. Right now we do injection molding, where we close up the mold and we make one single part. We're buying equipment that's it's called two-shot molding, where we make a part that has 2 different materials together, all in the same operation. That's going to help us be a lot more competitive against all of our other suppliers that we compete against, but it's a major big investment. I mean, a single machine is about $800,000 in cost to set it up. But we're going to make that investment, and we're doing it here. We have also got a plant over by Lansing in Sheridan, Michigan, which is our corporate headquarters. But we bought this plant here on Christian B. Haas as our expansion. We've already expanded the building twice since we originally bought it. We finished the last one about 1.5 years ago, and now we're in the process of filling it up with equipment. It's going to be good for us as well because we're going to be able to add employees. 2 of the machines I've already purchased, and 1 more is coming next month, and that in itself is going to be about 6 employees. I've got 2 more machines planned for mid-2015, which are going to add additional employees, but the work for those has not been specified yet exactly, so it could be 8 more people, could be 4 more people, but that's what we're doing. So basically we're putting all of our investment dollars for additional capacity and go into a different kind of process. We're still doing injection molding, that's our core business, but we're going to add this 2-shot molding, which should give us a lot of doors should open up because it's a lot more competitive. Rather than making a part twice, you make it all at one time.
Any questions for Tom or Bruce? Anyone in the audience have any questions for Tom or Bruce? All right, thank you,
Thank you
gentlemen.
very much.
We'll move on from the public hearing then to number 5, consent agenda. A is the City Council minutes of September 15th, 2014, special and regular meeting recommendation approved. B is the Historical Commission minutes of August 14th, recommendation received. And the Cemetery Board of Trustees minutes of August 19th, 2014 meetings, recommendation received.
Motion to approve B through C as presented, Your Honor.
Support.
All right, motion made, supported. Is there any questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go to number 6, ordinances resolution. A, resolution approving the application of Wright Plastics Products Company, LLC 2021 Christian B. Haas Drive for industrial facilities exemption certificates under Public Act 198 of 1974 as amended.
So moved.
Support.
All right, motion's made and supported for the resolution. Any questions?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
Can you please note the change is actually for 2 years instead of 12 years?
Yes.
Typographical error on the resolution that was in your packets.
All right. And that was on the application anyway, right?
The application is correct.
Right. All right. As noted, 2-year. Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Kinsfater?
Yes.
Cuffa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
McCartney?
Yes.
Foley?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. We'll go to B, resolution approving cost-sharing model for employee medical benefits plan. Mr. Booth?
Okay, included in your packets is a resolution for the continued participation in PA 152 and the 80/20 cost-sharing model. Currently, the plan includes the administrative and the AFSCME work groups. Employee cost-sharing equates to approximately $45,000 per year that is supported by the employees. And I ask you to approve the resolution.
I'd move to approve. I support.
All right, motion made and supported for the resolution. Questions? Call the roll, please.
Cuffa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
McCartney?
Yes.
Foley?
Yes.
Kinsfater?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll go to number 7, reports of administration. Mr. Booth?
A couple of items this evening, Your Honor. First of all, I'd like to say that the city has received and started to use Marysville's crack sealing machine. Our DPW started on 9th Street. We plan to continue using the equipment as weather permits. That's just an update. One update also on the scrap tire grant. I met with Rowe Professional Services on September 30th. During the meeting, we had preliminary discussions on the engineering work that will be needed to complete Hawthorne, Orchard, South 9th, and the skate park parking lot. The engineering will be done and the job will be bid over the winter for spring construction. I also wanted to note that I have asked Rowe to create a letter of interest again for requesting funding for the 2015 funding cycle. I'll provide more information as the project moves forward. So again, on that, we're just asking for funding a second year in a row. That's it, Your Honor.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Booth tonight? All right. Mr. Downey, how about you?
Your Honor, as a part of your packet, I have prepared a proposed resolution that would put a policy in place that was suggested by Councilmember McCartney at our last meeting. It's obviously a draft. I asked the council to pay particular attention to Section 3, which would actually put the particulars of attendance in place. Since submitting it to administration, Mr. Booth has raised a very good point that I did not apprehend when I put it together, and that is some of our boards and commissions are seasonal. Others meet every month of the year, and Mr. Booth suggested it might be a good idea to have alternative plans in place for attendance based on the number of times a group meets. So I'm simply soliciting your input on that, and if you want to direct it to me or to Mr. Booth, we'd like to get something together so that when we come back in 2 weeks, we can put it before council for review and approval.
All right. So I'll look this over. council, and, you know, as Mr. Downey says, you can call me, Mr. Booth, Mr. Downey, and if you see something that maybe we can have to tweak it or whatever, maybe as soon as the next meeting, we can have something in place.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Any city departments tonight? Okay, D, authorities, boards, commissions, committee chairs, council reps. All right. We will go to, we have no one finished business. Number 9, new business. A, approve special event permit for East China Supporters Fund 2014 Zombie 5K Run. Chief?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm in receipt for a request for approval of a special events permit. The East China School District is requesting permission to hold a Zombie 5K run to be held on October 25th, starting at 7 p.m. They will use the St. Clair Middle School campus to begin their run and then use the bike trail up through into the Highlands and then back through the Highlands and back to the middle school. They have all the necessary documents here. I do have a representative from the East China School District. If there's any question, this is going to be their first annual run of this nature.
He's the head zombie?
He's the head zombie. But with that, I respectfully recommend approval for the event. They're going to have volunteers, and it's not going to cost our budget anything.
I would move to approve the
Support.
request.
All right, the motion is made and supported to approve the special event permit. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. Good
Thank you,
luck,
Your Honor.
Mike. All right, we will go to new business B, approved purchase of Moorbark wood chipper. Mr. Booth.
Okay, the city provides brush pickup on Friday of each week. Our current chipper used to chip brush, tree branches, etc. is about 19 years old and needs to be replaced. Pricing from Moorbark, which is a Michigan company, was received via the Michigan Deal Program. I recommend council accept the proposal of $45,777.60. The list price in the chipper was $63,580, discount of about 28%. The old unit will be placed on the state bid site and sold to the highest bidder. Funding for this chipper will come from the city's equipment pool.
So moved.
Support.
All right, motion's been made, supported. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, let's go to C, approve the contract to perform patchwork on local city streets. Mr. Booth.
Okay, included in your packets was a list of the streets that we're looking to do some patchwork, where we feel that by putting the patch on, we can extend the life of the remaining road as well for a period of time. Streets included would be Cedar at 7th, which is in the center of the road, it's a whole. Fort Street at 7th. Jackson, there's 2 lanes. Delano by 1641. Glen Eagles. Benedict at 4th. J and 6th. Adams and 6th. Adams and 5th, that's in the intersection. Fredmore, we had a water main break. There's a piece there we want to fix. And then there's also a portion of North 6th Street, north of Turnberry. Since the packet went out, I have received bids back. 4 contractors were asked to bid on the patchwork to the city's local streets. One of the 4 indicated that they were too busy and could not complete the work by the end of the paving season, which is about the middle of November. It was when they shut down the asphalt plants. Bids were received from, again, from 3 groups. One was Asphalt Unlimited. The second was Jelsch Paving Company. And the third was Hess Asphalt Paving Company, Inc. I recommend accepting the low bid of $46,734 from Jelsch Paving. Funding for this project will come from the local street fund, where a combination of the current year just finished and the year we've just entered, the capital in that fund will be used to cover the project.
I would make a motion to approve.
I'll support that.
All right, the motion's made and supported to accept the low bid of Gelsch at $46,000 and some odd change, which
$46,734.
$734. Is there any questions? Yes, sir.
When this work's being done, is there somebody going to be out there from the city to watch, to make sure we get what we're paying for? Is it going to be inspected as it's
I'm sure I can have Mr. Boulier or someone We can find someone to go look at it, yes.
Are we gonna keep an eye on it to make sure it gets done?
We'll need to because there's on some of these spots, Jackson and probably Delano, they'll need to be cut out, and then there's probably a little bit of clay that needs to come out and some stone in.
Normally, it's an engineering firm that keeps an eye on it, correct?
Correct.
And this wasn't engineered?
Pardon me?
This is not engineered?
This is not an engineered, it's patchwork.
You come up with the specs on it?
Did I? Myself, working with Mr. Warren from our DPW.
Well, somebody will be keeping an eye on the work.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Absolutely.
Anybody else?
I'm Dan Robbins, I live on North Delano. I just would like to say thanks for this initiative. I appreciate it.
Keep an eye on them out there for us, will you? Got the eyes of the city on everything we're doing, guys. It's all right, that's good. All right, anybody else? All right, the motion made, supported, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. Good job, Mr. Booth. I like the fact that we're sealing some cracks and we're getting some things going, and we are not giving up, folks. We are working on a bigger plan. All right, we're going to new business, letter D. We added this, the accept this community gift. We have Larry Nichols here tonight that's going to walk us through this presentation.
Larry Nichols, Armstrong, Miller & Nichols, representing Edwin Sodden on the gift of the clock to the city of St. Clair. I think some of you have seen it before, but I'll just give you a little update on the clock, what it is, and so on. The clock is by the Electric Time Company of Massachusetts, which is the oldest clock company in the United States. It's called the Seth Adams clock, which is one of their largest clocks. Matter of fact, I think it's the largest one they make of a city street clock. It's all aluminum, cast aluminum, no fiberglass, so it's all metal. Has a 3-foot crystal and a 4x4 head on it. It stands 20 feet, 19 foot something, but basically 20 feet from the ground to the top of the clock. The clock itself is resets itself for daylight saving time. It resets itself if the power goes off back to the correct time. It also has a component where it'll play chimes or music or whatever you want it to play. And if there's a particular time you don't want it to play, it has a quiet or a soft mode that it can be programmed into it. And if the church is playing some music and you know what that schedule is going to be, it can be set up to go soft or quiet at that time. So it could be, things could be done to handle that. The location that we're looking at for this clock, after discussing it, is in Palmer Park at the south end, across from American Diamond Importers and just north of the Voyager. And that is, it's right, if you have that packet there, it's right, that sidewalk that's all broke up, it goes down to the river right there. It's in pretty bad shape. That sidewalk that is in pretty bad shape right there is about 100 foot of broken up concrete, and we'll be replacing about half of it. And then also the sidewalk immediately along in front of the clock, along the curb there, is completely sunk behind the curb. We'll be taking that all out and replacing that sidewalk all the way back to the Voyager, and at that point we will have a handicap ramp coming up at the drive from where the Voyager is. The clock itself will be setting in a little plaza. It'll be pavers around it, very similar to the pavers that you have in the park already. So it'll have the same feeling as where you walk into the sign where the Palmer Park sign is, or a little bit further to the north where you have the sculptures of the kids waving to the boats. The clock itself, it's going to be in a bronze color, and it shouldn't really take too long to complete all this construction work. Power's going to be there's a service panel in the park, probably about 130 feet north of this site, and we will probably drill that over to the site so we won't tear any of the park up.
So Larry, as I look at this diagram on the third page, the sidewalk going down, you're saying you're going down about halfway down?
Yes.
And the sidewalk in front, you're going how far down, like to the north?
It's about 70 feet from the driveway to Voyager to the north. It's past the light post that's down there, if you have an image of it in your mind. And that sidewalk, for some reason, all along there has sunk behind the curb. So we'll raise it up to the top of the curb, which you've done in several locations where you've replaced sidewalks yourself, so, for other events, I guess.
If we accept this gift this evening, Larry, this shrubbery along the rail by the Voyager there,
That would be part of it.
right? We have a new group, well, not that new anymore, but our new beautification commission headed by member Krebs, who's home ill. But I would like, if this goes forward, I would like them to be involved in that because that's their expertise.
We'd certainly be happy to work with them on that.
Right. Somebody else have any?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Yes.
The sidewalk running parallel with M29, 70 feet from the north driveway approach into the Voyager, and then you said about half of the sidewalk that's 100 feet now.
Yes.
Will that be brick paver or is that going to be concrete?
The sidewalk running north from the Voyager, that'll be all concrete.
Okay.
I think that's a 7-foot wide sidewalk right there.
It is.
And then the flat, so this is the curve right here, okay?
Correct.
And you're gonna have a sidewalk, a 7-foot sidewalk, or 6-foot sidewalk, whatever it is. And then you'll have this brick plaza, very similar to the other ones. And then the sidewalk here will be placing concrete back behind it.
And that's the one you're saying you're going about halfway down on that one?
Yes.
Now, is there some sort of like warranty guarantee with this clock? If something happens to it, who's fixing it?
The clock is warranted, I believe, for at least 3 years. Was it any longer than that, Bob, or no? 3 years. 3 years. 80?
How many? 80?
This company has been around forever. This is the oldest clock company in the United States. And so, I mean, obviously, they're able to take care of anything if it's needed way down the road. We'll hook up all the power, we'll do all the cleanup, we'll take out all the concrete, we'll install all the new concrete up to the city specs and whatever their sidewalks are. The handicap ramp will be done to the MDOT specs, but we'll be behind the curb, so we won't have to get MDOT involved in it.
Do you plan on using all local people for?
Yes.
For most of this?
Their only trick will be is the person who actually sets the clock. I'm looking for somebody who has experience at setting a clock, and I don't know if we have anybody here locally that's done that before, so. The sign guys seem to be interested in it, so we'll see if we find a local sign guy.
Any other questions or concerns?
I guess I have a quick concern. You said the sidewalk on M29 is going to be replaced 70 feet from the Voyager, correct? I know that sidewalk sinks way beyond that, so what do we do about that? Do we just create a huge lip there, or?
We'll taper it back down. I went down and looked to see what you guys had done in other locations, and you just tapered it back off, back down until you replace the, that's a significant piece of sunken
Sure.
sidewalk from there. I think it's sunk all the way up to the Palmer sign.
It's quite far down the road there.
It might, there might be one spot in between there where there's a handicap ramp where it's back up, but
Okay.
it'll kind of be like adding the park. You've got the entrance at the north end where the kids are waving to the ships. You got the Palmer Park sign in the middle where you've got the pavers going in. And then you've got this entrance down at this end, and there's really just nothing there but a broken sidewalk. So, I mean, it'll make it like finish off the south end.
I think it's a great idea. What are we looking for, a motion for this, or?
If you're satisfied with the drawings and the concept and anything else that you can do.
Well, I mean, I know we talked about doing the whole sidewalk, but I mean, if they're willing to do half of it, that's better than none.
Yeah,
I'll make motion to approve it.
I'll support.
All right, the motion's made and supported to accept the gift. Is there any questions, comments?
I guess my only comment would be it would be a good time for the city to replace some sidewalk as well while the other contractors are down there replacing some sidewalk.
Sure.
Thank you.
Could we possibly go, the sidewalk going east towards the boardwalk, could we possibly pick that up where they are and replace that? Is that in the budget, Mr. Booth, to look at that and do while they're pouring?
If you're asking me to look into it, I will. I mean, to
I
pull a
think it
number
wouldn't
off,
hurt
I mean,
anything to look at that and just to make it a smooth transition to the boardwalk while we're making that improvement.
Right. Anybody else? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you, and thank you
Thank
for the gift. Good luck. Be in contact with Mr. Boyer, Mr. Booth. We'll go to number 10, claims and accounts.
Hearing no questions, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Support.
Motion's made and supported. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go to number 11, sorry. Public questions and comments. Anybody have anything tonight for the good of the group? Yes, sir.
Gary Coes, good evening. Last time I was here, I handed out a copy of an article in Leelanau County News about Sugarloaf and what's happening at Sugarloaf, and the fact that it's been allowed to degrade to nothing more than a piece of property now. All the structures are literally gone, or not gone, but they're there, but they're such disrepair that saving them is probably out of the question. And I said at the last meeting that, in fact, this is what you could expect with the St. Clair Inn. And I'm here tonight to say that's what's happening with the St. Clair Inn. Now, we've suspended our efforts to acquire the inn because I think your city attorney will tell you, if we were to buy it tonight, we couldn't get clear title until the lawsuit's settled, because it can't get clear title until it's settled. And therefore, there's no reason to go there at this point. Yet, we had a plan, and I'd like to share that plan with you tonight, that would conceivably have facilitated the transfer of this to a responsible party and save it. We got the ordinance passed for an historic site ordinance with the intent of naming the St. Clair Inn as the historic site. So that would give the city leverage so that the
Okay, wait a second.
Yes.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Please don't say that.
Say what?
This Historic District Commission was not set up with the intent purpose of
No, that was our intention. I'm telling you, that was my intention.
Okay.
I'm sharing you with.
When the council passed that
No, you're
ordinance,
right,
that was not
absolutely
what the
right.
intent
You're
was.
absolutely right. I'm saying that was our intention. I'm telling you our strategy for acquiring the inn. I'm sharing it with you tonight, because maybe the community foundation can use it. The whole point being is we wanted to see an historic site ordinance passed, and then theoretically, the St. Clair Inn could be named an historic site so that it could not be used as blackmail. We're going to tear it down unless we get what we want from the city by the owners. This is how they do business. This is how they've done business at Sugarloaf, and it's all in that article. Consequently, Mr. Mayor, at the last meeting, you said by virtue of passing that ordinance, the inn was covered until such time as it could be named as a historic site, if in fact it's going to be a historic site. That's what we were told. So, All I'm saying tonight is this. If you've driven by the inn lately, there must be an ordinance in this town requiring property owners to maintain their property. Just take a look at the property at the St. Clair Inn. The grass hasn't been cut, what, in a month, 2 months? The seawall has failed, and if you ask your building manager here to walk over there and take a look at it, he'll probably tell you that the water's coming up far enough now on the failed seawall to reach the foundation of the inn. What does that mean? Well, is it structurally safe if it's reaching the foundation? I don't know, but I think probably he would know. Last Sunday, I just happened to go by in the boat, and here's a door open on one of the rooms, the inn, just flapping in the breeze. And I figure, well, there's obviously one of the owners is there or something. I find out later, no, there was no owner there. That door was wide open. The inn's not secured. And I'm told it's not secured because they didn't pay the alarm company, so there's no alarm. So I'm asking tonight, the city of St. Clair, do you have an ordinance that requires them to maintain their property? I don't know. Is there an ordinance that requires them to maintain the property?
We have ordinances that cover blight, yes, we do.
And at what point does it become blight when the seawall has failed and the grounds are an absolute mess and it's an embarrassment? It's an absolute embarrassment to the city. At what point does it become blight?
Do you want to handle that one, Mr. Dunn?
Well, we'll address it to the building inspector and code enforcement officer.
Okay, so there is then an ordinance that would cover that.
Yes.
And also regarding securing the property if it's vacant, is there an ordinance covering that? I mean, that to me would be a safety issue.
Part of the property maintenance code that's been adopted by the city would govern that,
They
yes.
cover that, and the failed seawall. With the concept that the water from the river is undermining the foundation of the inn. Would that be covered also?
It may be, I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I just wanted to call this to the attention, and my only point was, and I'll just say it the way it is, our intention was to somehow protect the inn while we're negotiating, and then hopefully give the tools to this council to play hardball with these people to make sure they don't let the inn go the way Sugarloaf has gone. And I'm afraid that that's their intentions. So that's all I have to say tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Public comments, questions? All right, we'll go to number 12. Mayor and council comments and announcements. I have to do one. I'm going to ask people to say a prayer for the Bodie family. Nancy Bodie, who was on our planning commission, is in some ill health, and she needs all our thoughts and prayers. That's all I can think of. Anybody else have anything? All right, we'll go to number 13. I'm going to ask for a motion to go into closed session to discuss the strategy connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement with employees represented by the POLC.
So moved.
Support.
All right, motion made, supported. Call the roll, please.
Cuffa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
McCartney?
Yes.
Foley?
Yes.
Kinsfater?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right. We will be going into closed session to discuss union negotiations. We will not take any action when we return, but you are certainly welcome to stay. If not, thank you for coming. Be careful going home.